The technology is testing my patience this morning. Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. Here with me in the studio is Autumn Zick, who's the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center, and Sarah Spoonholtz with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber. Ladies, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely. Autumn is just wondering, what in the world have I got myself into? These people are crazy. No, we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about a lot of great things here, including the Therapeutic Equestrian Center in just a few moments. First, I've got to get some news out, some sports, some weather, all that other kind of good stuff. And we'll be right back. Okay?
Woohoo.
Good? Okay. Yep. Be right back.
Just Personal Loan Networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:05. I want that story. That sounds like a really good story.
Sorry.
That's okay. That's good. That's good. Good morning and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's Tuesday, July 8th at 7:05 a.m. And I have guests in the studio. Sarah Spoonholtz with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber, who's been chatting up my guest, getting all her good stories before we go on the air.
We go way, way back.
Oh, okay. Autumn Zick is here, president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. So we'll talk about stuff in a moment.
Yeah.
What stories do you want her to share?
She's got a lot of really great ones. Truthfully, Autumn and I go, I think I've known her pretty much my entire life.
Really?
Not close to my entire life, yeah.
Background.
So we go way
awesome.
back. I'm not joking.
Okay.
But yes, let's hear the news, and then we'll catch up.
Okay. We will do that. All right. No, that's great. And this is why we love life in Southwest Michigan, because everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Forecast for today, some patchy for morning fog, partly cloudy skies. So be aware as you're driving around in the area of Southwest Michigan, you might run into some fog here and there. High today around 85 degrees inland, probably around 81 by the lakeshore. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy, chance of showers, a low of 68 overnight. Nice start to the day today. I love that crisp weather. It feels good.
It does.
It does feel good out there.
Beware of deer.
Oh, yeah. Did you see deer this morning?
I passed a truck versus a deer on my way here.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Mostly cloudy tonight. Chance of showers. Low of 68. Tomorrow's forecast, partly cloudy. A 30% chances of showers or storms. A high around 82 degrees. We might get some thunder and lightning tonight. I don't know.
Good.
But I don't think it's going to be severe. That's what the meteorologists are saying.
You know what? The farms, as a farm girl, the farms need it.
We need it.
We still need rain?
Yes.
We
Okay.
do.
All
We do.
right.
Yeah.
The field, especially certain parts, it's very sandy, so it's very dry still. Yes, we still need rain.
All right. So, all right, rain, you're welcome. Come on in. Thursday's forecast, partly cloudy, high around 85. And we're going to keep that kind of forecast through the weekend as well, with a good chance of rain on Saturday, about a 60% chance of rain to answer that need. Also, let's see, what do we have sports-wise? Tigers beat the Tampa Bay Rays last night, 5-1. Yes, and they play again tonight at 6:40. They're in Detroit. Cubs play against the Minnesota Twins tonight. Their first pitch is at 7:40, and the White Sox lost to the Toronto Blue Jays 8-4. They'll play again tonight at 7:40. Why are you just laughing about the White Sox?
I'm a Cubs girl.
Oh, okay. You just giggling when the White Sox lose. That's all right. Okay, more from the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber in a moment and the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. First off in the news, Benton Harbor leaders are being asked to consider the possibility of launching a successor to Dial-A-Ride. That's the mass transit service that's operated by the Twin Cities Area Transportation Authority. Speaking to city commissioners last night, Takata Interim Director Todd Shern said Dial-A-Ride is currently supported by a millage paid by Benton Harbor residents. However, he said the service also provides transportation to residents from St. Joseph Township, and Benton Township, among other places. With its millage up for renewal at the end of 2027, Shern said now could be the time to explore a new authority to replace Dial-A-Ride that could incorporate those areas in a better way.
What we're looking to do is form a Public Act 196 authority that will allow a lot more flexibility in configuring the municipalities that can participate and also the jurisdiction of service.
Shuren said the current Takata millage generates about $345,000 per year for Dial-A-Ride, which is only a fraction of its budget. And they say with costs rising, Shuren says there may be a better way to keep Dial-A-Ride going. Mayor Marcus Muhammad later said with insurance, fleet repairs, and lawsuits, Dial-A-Ride is in need of help.
It's gotten to the point where the federal government is saying that they're not going to continue to fund Dial-A-Ride unless there's some serious changes.
Commissioners had concerns with Shuren's proposal, mainly that they would lose local control of Dial-A-Ride. He said it's up to them to ensure Benton Harbor has representation going forward. He added he's only in the early stages of exploring a new authority, as there are still a couple of years left for the current millage. Most of Takata's funding comes from the federal government. That's followed by state funding and then the millage and fares. Other Benton Harbor news, city commissioners have postponed their discussion on a proposed ordinance to prohibit nuisance parties in the community. The question was originally on the agenda for Monday's commission meeting, but it was pulled a few hours before the proceeding began. The plan is now for the city's Public Safety and Public Works Committee to discuss the ordinance on Wednesday. However, that did not stop several residents from speaking out during Monday's meeting against the proposal. Resident Natasha Bowman said she enjoys hosting gatherings at her home, something she fears police would use the new ordinance to shut down.
You know, I want that to be something that I can do at home in my city and it not be like, oh, we might get in trouble. The police are going to come and it's going to be a big deal. I'm going to be charged something outside of the taxes that I already pay.
Others like Shaniqua Davis said a request from police to ban nuisance parties targets young people who have nothing else to do and nowhere to socialize in the community.
The younger crowds are 18 through 25. 25 and up don't have these nuisance parties. We have fun. Benton Harbor is a big little community that's a family.
Benton Harbor Department of Public Safety Deputy Director Mike Clark told the City Legislative Committee last week some of the large gatherings that police are seeking to rein in have been utter chaos that bordered on civil unrest. There have been shootings at them as well. The department is asking for the ability to declare such a gathering a nuisance so people there can be cited for that gathering. Expect more public comment on the proposal at Wednesday's committee meeting. Public Safety Director Dan McGinnis said Monday he looks forward to a transparent dialogue with residents at that time. And in other news, there's good news for anyone interested in enrolling in certain job training programs at Lake Michigan College. LMC Vice President of Enrollment, Marketing, and Government Relations, Al Pasholka, tells us the LMC Foundation has decided to put up support for students in several program areas.
Truck driving, marine technician. These are programs that do not qualify for traditional financial aid. And the Lake Michigan College Foundation is setting up a $100,000 fund to fund scholarships for those activities.
Pasholka says there are plenty of potential students that never enroll in programs like commercial truck driving because simply they can't afford it.
We've got a lot of interest in truck driving. There's a lot of openings for truck drivers. You can make up to $85,000 right out of the gate in a 3 to 6 week program, but it doesn't, there's no traditional financial aid. Now there will be.
Pasholka says LMC is growing. He says the college has nearly 1,000 students now enrolled in summer classes. That's a 30% increase. He adds the new scholarship for previously unsupported programs is another way for the college to attract even more students. That's a look at some of the local news that we're covering in the WSJM newsroom. We have more to talk about, including the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. President Autumn Zick is here to tell us about that. We'll have that in just a moment. First off, why don't we get a quick update on what's happening with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber? Our Tuesday morning guest as well, Sarah Spoonholtz. Good morning, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
It's good to see you.
You as well.
So does Autumn have a lot of stories about you as a rambunctious child? I think she does.
I don't.
We're going to press her for it this hour.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
All right. You go
She's
way
got
back,
stories
though.
about my brother, but not me.
Okay. All right. Well, very
Yeah.
good. Share as many as you wish. Why don't you share some information on what's going on with the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber?
Yeah, so we've got it's been a very busy summer. Busy is a good thing, but coming up this week, we're proud to partner with Visit Southwest Michigan, the new name for the Southwest Michigan Tourist Council, this Thursday at 8:30 a.m. for the official ribbon cutting on the new Shop and Shore trolley that you probably saw running over the
Yes,
weekend. It
I
officially
did.
started running last Friday, and it'll be running Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, as I believe. If I
Do
remember
people understand
correctly.
that as a free trolley
The free
service?
trolley service, yes.
great.
That's all
Yeah.
paid for by Visit Southwest Michigan and support with Clark Logic. So we're really excited about it. I'm super excited for Marcy and her amazing team over there at Visit Southwest Michigan. And it's got, I believe it's 4 or 5 stops that it does.
Yeah.
Everything from the parking lot at Clark Logic that they pick up at. Then they head to downtown. There's multiple spots in downtown St. Joe, and then they head back there. So it is a pretty awesome addition to St. Joe and to the surrounding communities. But we'll be doing the ribbon cutting this Thursday at 8:30 a.m. It will be pretty quick because they would like to have the trolley on the road by 9 a.m.
That makes sense.
Chop chop.
Yep.
So if you are welcome to join us to hop on the trolley if you'd like. Take around. It takes about an hour to make the entire round.
And it's air conditioned,
And
right?
it's air conditioned. Yep. And it is. If you've seen a trolley driving through town, that is the trolley.
That's the trolley.
Over the weekend. So it's really exciting. And the location is 211 Hilltop in St. Joe, with the official ceremony beginning at 8:45. Again, so that we can have it on the road by 9 a.m.
Very
so
nice.
that's Thursday.
Okay.
This Saturday, celebrate Bridgman in downtown Bridgman with the return also of the street dance. Advanced tickets are still on sale. That'll run through Thursday. They are $5 in advance. You can purchase them at DiAgostino's, Navajo Restaurant, Harding's Friendly Market in Bridgman, Transient Artisan Ales, or United Federal Credit Union in Bridgman. Otherwise, $10 at the gate. Children 10 and under are free. 18 and under must be accompanied by an adult. But there's a full day of festivities happening for Celebrate Bridgman. The street dance officially starts at 5 o'clock. We've got live music, food vendors, all kinds of fun. And when I say they have a full day, I do mean they have a full day of things that families can enjoy. You can see the full schedule of events by heading to smrchamber.com or bridgmancga.org. And a big thank you to Classic Catering and Events, the City of Bridgman, and Indiana Michigan Power and AEP Company, as well as all the amazing sponsors for joining us for that event. And then finally, we are gearing up for our July Business After Hours. We've got the golf outing on Monday,
Yes.
the 14th. That is sold out. So I'm just going to kind of say
Congrats.
thank you to all of our amazing sponsors for that. And then later that week, next Thursday, the 17th, we have our July Business After Hours with Schroeder Furniture celebrating their 50th anniversary.
big. Yeah.
Yes. So Dawn and Scott, they are throwing a party to celebrate 50 years, a well-deserved 50 years,
Yeah.
multi-generational business here in Southwest Michigan. They've been open since 1975, dedicating and providing beautiful, high-quality furniture that transforms houses into homes. They've got a lot of fun planned for everyone. And if you would like to come on out and join us as we celebrate the Schroeder family and 50 years of Schroeder Furniture, you are
Yeah.
welcome to do so. And you can-
Generational impact.
yeah.
I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
You probably grew up on Schroeder Furniture and then moved out on your own, bought
Yeah.
some furniture of your own.
Yeah. And we're just so excited. And like 2 really great people too. I mean, they do all kinds of stuff in the community, whether
Yeah.
people realize it or not, and just two genuinely good people. So big
Love it.
fans of Dawn and Scott.
Yeah.
And then we've got more events coming up later on through the year, but you can get all the details there at smrchamber.com. And we should probably before the end of the month have an official announcement on our new hire for Central CGA.
Oh,
That is our new Chamber and Growth Alliance in Central Berrien County, covering the village of Eau Claire, also Berrien Springs, Berrien Township, Orinoco Township, and then the village of Broda and Broda Township.
oh, very nice. We look forward to that announcement.
Yeah.
And looking forward to more explanation on why you say Eau Claire instead of Eau Claire.
I naturally say Eau Claire, but I have been yelled at.
Who yelled at you? Why, was it Wisconsin people?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, the technical proper pronunciation is Eau Claire. Jerry Glassman, who I have a very special place in my heart for the
Yeah.
Glassman family, John Glassman, the son, he's currently the village president. He's like, it's Eau Claire.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Glen
Didn't know we were
Head
changing
over
that.
At Mail
Did you know that?
It's news to me.
Yeah. Okay.
It's Eau Claire.
All right.
Okay. When I'm at home, it's Eau Claire still. But no, Eau Claire, yeah.
Very nice. Well, we'll see
Yeah.
how that goes. Maybe we'll do a story about that.
Okay.
It'll be interesting. 7:18. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Sarah Spoonholtz, thank you very much. We've got
Thank
Autumn
you.
Zick here, president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. We're going to start the conversation in just a moment. We've got to get a quick sports update in from Dave Wolf.
Kiter Montero and 3 relief.
Okay. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Eau Claire, huh?
Yeah.
When did that start? We're on the video live stream still.
I forgot about the video live.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. So it started, let's see, I've been out of school for almost 25 years now. So probably about 20 some years ago, it actually started. There was actually a whole campaign for a little bit where it was, it's Eau Claire. Yeah.
So they've been trying for a long time to change the
Yeah.
pronunciation.
I mean, it is the true correct pronunciation is.
Well,
is
come
Eau
on.
Claire,
Let's talk about some of the pronunciations of like Carmel, Carmel.
Right.
Charlotte.
That's another
Right?
one that's confusing.
Yeah.
Yes. Charlotte. Yeah.
Charlotte. Yeah.
Charlotte,
Yeah.
New York.
Change that.
Yeah.
All right, we've got to get back on the air here, but
Yeah.
I'm going to follow up on that.
Okay. You
All
do
right.
so.
Thank you on the video live stream. All right, we're back on the radio here in just a moment.
Partly sunny skies today. Temperatures warming back up. We'll see 85 inland. We'll see low 80s along the lakeshore today with light winds. There is a slight chance of a shower this afternoon and this evening. We drop down to 68 overnight tonight. And tomorrow, partly sunny, scattered showers and thunderstorms also with a high temperature near 80. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
It's my favorite part of the day this time because I get to spend it with you. So thank you very much. And Sarah, thanks again for coming in, sharing the information that you did. It's always a kick. But also, good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Autumn Zick is here. She's the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's your experience here been so far this morning?
It's loads of fun. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. We love having you. Autumn Zick is the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. And at a recent charity golf outing for Baird Private Wealth Management, we ran into you on one of the holes, and you were raising money for the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. And I said, Autumn, why don't you come on the radio with me? Why don't you be on the radio and we'll talk about what you do? And you said, absolutely. So thank you.
No, well, thank you. And thank you for participating.
Yeah.
That was a great day.
Absolutely.
Weather was beautiful.
Oh, the weather was perfect. It was before we got like the 900-degree
Right.
weather and
Yeah.
the humidity and
Yeah,
everything
no,
else.
It really was.
No, it was good.
Barrett has been a wonderful company to help us the last 5 years with the golf outing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So Autumn, tell us a little bit. Why don't we start at the beginning? Let's talk about you. Who is Autumn Zick? Tell us about your origin story, where you come from, where you been.
Well, partially with Sarah sitting here today, it goes back. My role in terms of therapeutic riding started 40 some odd years ago. I'd always had horses. My grandparents bought me my first pony. I saw the center being built in Augusta, Michigan, and it was for people with a disability. And they sent a horse trainer over to England to learn how to do it because they'd been doing that for people after World War II and kids with cerebral palsy, and they wanted to bring it back here to the United States. So that started, and the center began, and then through the Michigan Cooperative Extension here in Berrien County, 4-H, they wanted to get programs started through 4-H to work with people. And I saw an ad in the article in the newspaper. They were looking to have someone go become an instructor. I was, I think, 23 or 24 at the time. And I thought, yeah, I'd like to be able to do that. I saw that center being built as a little kid. We'd had a pony of ours that was donated there. So that led to getting an opportunity to go for the training. And we started our the programs here in the Berrien County area for people with disabilities, one of which was Sarah's brother, Scott. And the program was it's now the We Can Ride 4-H Club, and it's been around for well over 40 years. Scott was a participant in that. We had different locations throughout the county, and as a result of that, the Therapeutic Equestrian Center, we grew out of that when there was a need for, you aged out. You got out of 4-H age and you didn't have, there wasn't as many opportunities. And we wanted to be able to go year round. 4-H is a wonderful, wonderful program, but it's a summer-based time frame. And so we have that ability to go year round. We can serve people younger than 4-H age, young as 4. And we've got a couple of people riding now that are in their 80s and everything else in between. So, her brother Scott was great. He'd come to our one of the locations was at our farm originally, and I think he had a service dog back then. The service dog came and whatnot. So that's a little bit about how that all got started.
Sarah, do you mind? I'm sorry. So do you mind?
I don't understand.
Siri. I said Sarah, not Siri.
It happens all the time.
But Sarah, your brother, God rest his soul. And do you remember when he would go to the Therapeutic Equestrian Center?
Oh yeah.
What was
I would get so jealous and so mad because I'm like, I want to ride the horses too.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
But for me, there were other kids there that like Scott had friends with that had other siblings, so that were my age. So like we would go off and play over on the side, and yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
But Scott got I assume a lot of great enjoyment and fulfillment out of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, I mean, it feels like that is what your mission is in your name, in the name of the organization, Therapeutic Equestrian Center. Can you expand on that? What is the mission? What are you there to do?
We are here to, we'll be celebrating our 19th year coming up in September. Tech is kind of what we go by. It's a long name.
Yeah.
But we provide services for people in Berrien, Cass, and Van Buren County, as well as Northern Indiana. And it can be, like I said before, people as young as 4, up to people, seniors and whatnot. They can have a physical disability. We're seeing more and more kids, especially with anxiety and some trauma. Some of our students have autism, learning disabilities, intellectual disabilities.
Yeah.
and
How does it
whatnot.
start out? How does it start out for somebody who's brand new? Let's say you have a 4-year-old with a disability. How do you introduce them to something, a mammoth beast that I'm afraid of, the horse? Yeah, I have a question about carrots and horses and fingers, but anyway.
They are so gentle.
Oh, I know they're beautiful. They're beautiful, and I love being around them. It's just I have this vision of the horse thinking my finger is a carrot.
Well, then that could, we do all of our treats. The horses, when they're done with a lesson, they get their paycheck, which is their, we have treat bowls, and their treats go in the treat bowls so that they don't make a mistake.
Okay. The treats go in the treat bowls. You
Yep.
don't feed them directly.
No.
Okay, that makes sense.
A big rule.
Okay.
To keep everybody safe. So,
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
We do that. But in answer to your question, if a parent was interested, our website is techfarm.org. You go on there. We have forms that need to be filled out to make sure there's not a contraindication for being able to participate and in what manner would be appropriate. Not all of our participants ride. I've got one little girl that's just starting. She's around 5 with Down syndrome. She's not real sure about all this and wearing a helmet and whatnot. And so we find ways to make it fun. Those of you that are parents and grandparents might be familiar with the preschool lady that does the Miss Rachel videos and songs and whatnot. And so I had that playing in the barn last week when she came as a way to kind of make this big barn and everything maybe not quite so strange for her. So we kind of meet people where they're at and get used to wearing a helmet, used to doing the things that need to be done to be around the barn. Riders come or participants come for a rider eval where we decide what's the right horse, what's the right equipment, because we do have special equipment to help be a positive experience.
Yeah.
And the length of time and what their interests are. What are the goals that the families have? We can work with the various therapists that they might be seeing, physical, speech, OT, school goals and objectives as well.
Okay. How many horses do you have out there?
Right now we have 7. We're looking for a larger horse to accommodate our more adult riders and whatnot. Could be a draft cross, could be a large quarter horse paint, something along those lines. So, yeah.
Okay.
Looking.
Wow. All right. I have so many questions, and we have to get to a couple of messages here and some news. But we're talking with Autumn Zick. She's the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. So we'll get more into her background and your involvement with horses, and we'll talk more about what the Therapeutic Equestrian Center might need from the community. We'll talk about that and all kinds of other stuff. It's the WSJM Morning Show, Bloomberg Market Minute coming up, ABC World and National News, local news, sports, and more.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash.
Thank you, Sarah. We appreciate you.
One thing with your job, no
Oh.
2 days are the same, right?
No 2 days are the same. That's correct. All right. Back on the video live stream here. Thanks, Sarah. We'll see you. It's almost 7:30. We've got a couple of messages to get to here, and then we'll have our Bloomberg Market Minute. So still on the video live stream. So you talk about horses, and you said you need a bigger one. How do you measure horses? Is there like a hand
You're
thing?
right. Yep,
Okay. How does this go?
Well, I guess the old story is back in the day, you didn't have a yardstick you'd pull out to be able to measure a horse on the farm or out in the prairie or whatever. So
Yeah.
they went with a person's hand, and they figured out that that's about 4 inches.
Okay.
So a hand is 4 inches, and you go from the ground up to the withers, the top of the withers, which is that big bump at the end of the horse's neck that goes into the horse's back.
Okay. So it's kind of like where that shoulder you would think
Yes.
might be,
Yeah.
but it's called the withers.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's above the shoulders.
Okay.
And so you measure and do it that way.
Okay.
So that's how you get yeah.
So what's a big horse? How many hands is a big horse?
We're looking for something between 15.3, so it would be 15 hands 3 inches, 16 hands, somewhere in there. You get too tall if they need assistance with people that walk beside them, called sidewalkers. That gets to be a bit tough. Sometimes you're mounting and dismounting. If you get too big, that can be
Be an issue. Sure.
Yeah.
What kind of horses do you have out there right now? What do you have? Who do you have out
Who
there?
do we have? We have Miss Clarabelle. She is a Clydesdale, which are the Budweiser horses are Clydesdales. She's a Clydesdale.
Wow, that
quarter
sounds like a
horse
really
cross.
big horse.
She's more the quarter horse size,
Okay.
but she's bulky like a
Like a Clydesdale.
yeah.
Wow.
And she had been an Amish horse once upon a time.
Okay.
We have
So she didn't use electricity and stuff like that.
No, and she was not used to a lot of things. I'm
Oh,
not kidding. I mean, she wasn't
yeah.
used to treats. She wasn't used to. She had to figure out the finer things of life. And now she
Wow.
thinks it's wonderful. But
So
yeah,
you've re-socialized her,
yes,
or in a
They
different,
have
socialized her to a
way
different
of-
way. Yeah.
different way.
Okay.
I
Very
guess.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Who else do you have out there?
Let's see. We have Tessa, who's a small quarter horse. We have Finley, who is probably a paint Arab Arabian cross.
Mm-hmm.
She was a hunter jumper pony that decided, I think I'm done with that job and don't think I want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
She's our newest member. We've got Winston, who's a tried and true quarter horse. He's probably taught a lot of kids in Berrien County how to ride. He did a lot of showing around the area and whatnot. We have Stretch, who's another quarter horse, probably thoroughbred cross. And he's a taller boy.
Okay.
So he works well for adult riders. We've got Elsa, that's a Haflinger, and that's in the horse world, I always liken them to the corgis of the horse world in terms of temperament.
Oh.
And whatnot. And I love corgis. I've got 2 in my family.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're strong-willed kind of little ponies, but they're very short and stocky. They're meant to be able to go over the hills and mountains over in Europe on narrow trails
Okay.
and carry burdens and people, and also pull carriages. So they're kind of small little draft.
Okay.
And then we have Nellie, who is a paint draft cross, and she's got a real smooth trot. So she's great for riders that can't do a lot of maybe bouncing around.
Yeah.
So they each have their own special gifts and personalities.
That's fun.
Yeah.
7. So you have 7. You're looking to get an 8th.
Yes.
Who's going to be 51 hands long? No, 15. 15 and 3.
15 hands, yeah.
15 or
to
16.
16 somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
somewhere in there.
We'll be back with more in just a moment. We're talking with Autumn Zick, the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center here on the WSJM Morning Show. Some news to get to, and we'll be back.
Incidents that injured 7 people. NHTSA's latest action covers almost 1.2 million pickups made by Ram from the 2013 through 2018 model years. Wall Street started the week with a lower close across the board. Declines yesterday of almost 1% for the Dow and the NASDAQ, and a little bit less for the S&P 500. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
It's currently 65 cool degrees in Benton Harbor right now under mostly sunny skies. That's what we have cropping up right now. St. Joseph, 67 degrees. It's going to start off mostly sunny. And then South Haven, 65 degrees and mostly cloudy at this point in time. I mean, we had temperatures in the 50s overnight. Dowagiac was at 59. What are they at right now? Dowagiac has warmed up to 62 degrees. Yeah, it's a nice start to the day. I like it cooler like this in the mornings. We have some patchy morning fog being reported, some partly cloudy skies. A high today expected around 85 degrees inland, probably closer to 81 near the lake. Tonight's forecast mostly cloudy, a 30% chance of showers, a low around 68. We haven't seen many of those showers materialize that we keep talking about, like a 30% chance and then maybe a spot and then it's done. Just enough to wither the grass a little bit. Yeah, dry it out. Okay, tomorrow's forecast, partly cloudy, a 30% chance of showers and storms, a high around 82. We might get some thunder and lightning tonight, but they say it won't be severe. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, partly cloudy. There's a chance of rain showers starting on Friday. Saturday looks like a 60% chance of rain showers, but the high is going to be around 85 degrees. And then Sunday, partly cloudy and a high around 80. Okay, we have more of the WSJM Morning Show coming up. Autumn Zick is joining us, president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. We're going to continue that conversation in just a moment after news from ABC and our local newsroom.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The number of people who died when flash flooding struck central Texas now exceeds 100 and is expected to keep on rising. ABC's Jim Ryan is along the Guadalupe River in Kerrville, Texas.
The tragedy hits home for some well-known figures,
My daughters have gone to summer camp here for 10 years.
including Senator Ted Cruz.
Just last week, Heidi was in town picking our youngest daughter, Catherine, up from camp.
So caught up now in pretending.
Country singer Pat Green has posted that his brother, his sister-in-law, and their 2 children are missing after the flooding here in the Hill Country. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Kerrville, Texas.
After saying a week ago the U.S. would hold back delivering any more weapons to Ukraine, President Trump now says the U.S. will have to send those weapons, in the president's words, because they're being hit hard right now. Hopes for a ceasefire in the Israeli shelling of Gaza. Israel and Hamas saying they both want a deal for a 60-day pause in fighting that would allow for at least 10 hostages to be released. This is ABC News.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
7:37 is the time. It's the WSJM Morning Show for your Tuesday, July 8th. Thank you so much for coming along. We appreciate you. Again, we're going to talk more about the Therapeutic Equestrian Center in a moment. Some of the news that we have coming up at 8 o'clock from our WSJM Newsroom. The Berrien County Sheriff's Department has released body cam footage of a deputy-involved shooting that resulted in the death of the suspect on June 30th in Niles Township. Sheriff Chuck Hite yesterday had a news conference to release the video and more information about the incident itself. You won't want to miss this update. Again, that's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. Also, another update to a story we brought you over the weekend. A man accused of lobbing pipe bombs at police in Van Buren County on Friday has been arraigned on a variety of charges. It turns out he was a habitual offender and now faces life in prison based on that incident. We'll give you that update. And as far as the Bicentennial Bridge goes, it's still waving at people. Yeah, it's still open. It will remain in an open position at least through later today. The Michigan Department of Transportation announced last Thursday they couldn't close the bridge due to a mechanical problem. They were replacing something on it, and when they got that done, they tried to put the bridge back down, and it wasn't right. It all remained up during the whole Independence Day weekend, which caused its own fireworks around traffic. And then MDOT says that the agency will have an out-of-state inspector later today to take a look at it, and they hope to get that thing working right maybe later today. We'll see. 7:38, it's the WSJM Morning Show. We've got more coming up. We've got the latest world and national news from ABC at 8 o'clock. But before that, we've got some the Moody on the Market update. We've got sports. We've got the latest state news right now.
The Michigan News Network.
Yeah, that bridge situation.
What a weekend.
Yeah.
That happened.
Oh, I know. And not only that, but when we were here on Thursday, the Bicentennial Bridge was having its issues, and then we got a report from South Haven that the Dykeman Bridge was having issues. Yeah. I haven't fully caught up with Paul yet, but he didn't seem to share that it was an ongoing issue. So they got it fixed up pretty quick. Cuz can you imagine? Bridges are a big thing. Okay, we're here on the video live stream, and we're talking with Autumn Zick. She's the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. And you, what do you call it when a horse jumps over one of those steeplechase things? Is it a steeplechase?
It's a jump.
It's a jump. Okay, when the horse jumps, you, like a horse in steeplechase, jumped over who you are.
Oh,
Where were
that
you-
was great, Lena.
Where were you? Where were you born?
I was born in Wilmington, Delaware, in the middle of a hurricane, Hurricane Hazel, and I was grateful my folks didn't name me Hazel.
You're like the subject of a Rolling Stones song or something like that. I was born in a Cat 5 hurricane.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
It was.
Wow. So
Yeah.
you were born during Hurricane Hazel.
Yep. And so that made an impact, and that's kind of how I ended up with Autumn. I was born in October, and so that's
Okay.
how I got that.
What day in October, if I might ask?
The 15th.
Me too.
We're the same day.
The same exact day, October 15.
Oh my. And
Yeah.
we're expecting a grandson on the 14th.
No
So,
kidding.
Yeah.
Make him delay just a little
We
bit.
have
We need an
6
October 15 club.
We have 6 October birthdays in my immediate family.
Wow.
So it's a busy month.
Libras unite.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Same birthday. I'll be darned.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It is.
Have you ever met anyone with your birthday?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have too.
Yeah.
Was his name David?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I believe Vicki O'Neill, who's here locally in
Okay.
Buchanan.
Oh, very
She
nice.
And I share the same day. Mhm.
Speaking of Buchanan, where is the Therapeutic Equestrian Center? What's the
We-
location?
We are located at the Jane M. Heiler facility, and that's on the East Glen Buchanan Road.
Okay.
So obviously between those two towns.
Between Buchanan and Galeen,
Yes.
you can't miss it. People won't have trouble finding it. But is it what's it like running a horse center, an equestrian center?
It is no 2 days are ever the same. It's a wonderful experience. We were very, very grateful. The family of Jane M. Heiler were able to give us the funds to be able to purchase our own facility there. And we moved, it'll be 4 years this fall, moved there. We'd been up at Stockbridge Equestrian Center in Waterville Elite for 13 years. And we're again very grateful to the Barbers for being able to use that part of their property. We kind of outgrew that, and they needed their barn back. So we were looking, and as a result, the Patty Moulter, who was one of our volunteers, it was her mother's family, and they were able to help us find where we're at and be able to purchase the facility. So
Nice.
it's very nice to own your own.
Yeah. How many acres do you have?
It's a little over 14.
Okay.
So good amount of pasture for the horses. Nice, decent sized indoor arena. Good barn with very ample stall sizes to accommodate all the various sizes of horses that we have. And there's a small home on the property, so someone's always there to help keep the horses safe.
Nice. Okay. And how did you? I mean, so you're born in Delaware. Then what happened?
Well, my father was a veterinarian, and he decided to get out of that. When I was in kindergarten, he went to dental school in Maryland, and after that, my mother's family was up in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
And so to start a whole new second career, they felt Lansing was a good place to do that. So we moved back. We moved here at that time.
Okay. So moved to the Lansing area.
Mhm.
Okay. How'd you find your way to Southwest Michigan?
Well, I met my husband. We were at Hillsdale College,
Okay.
and he grew up here.
Okay.
So yeah, Russ was a local guy, and his dad had a Hughes Plastics business here in St. Joe for a lot of years, and so after college, he came back to work there, and so we moved.
Okay. Yeah.
Been here ever since,
Love it.
and I like Southwest Michigan better than Lansing.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We're talking with Autumn Zick. She is the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. Thank you for sharing the information that you do and doing what you do at the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. So you saw an ad in the paper for somebody. Had you had experience with horses before?
Yeah.
When did you first get into horse riding?
I would spend summers here in Michigan
Okay.
with my grandparents when my dad was in school, so my folks could both work. And we rode a pony, and that pony, my grandparents purchased and brought him out to us in Delaware, and then he came back here. So I've had him, had horses since I was 8 years old, and I'm 70 now. So
Wow.
it's a lifelong thing I've enjoyed. And like I said, when I saw the Chef Center being built, I thought that's something I'd like to do. You can combine helping people as well as my love of horses and share that with others. And I think I'm very fortunate to have been able to do that for a career. and
Okay.
whatnot.
Autumn Zick is the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. We'll keep quizzing her about the center in just a moment here on the WSJM Morning Show. We'll make it part of our Moody on the Market update. What do you do when you're not horse riding?
Resting.
Getting ready for the next ride. Yeah. Do you get much riding in?
Not so much anymore. We do. We've got horses at the center that need to be exercised, doing
Yeah.
something different than they do on a day-to-day basis. So I ride there. My two show horses are basically retired at our home, so I take care of them and enjoy time like with family and friends and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Back in just a moment with more of this. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Landscaping and design, creating landscapes for life.
Partly sunny skies today. Temperatures warming back up. We'll see 85 inland. We'll see low 80s along the lakeshore today with light winds. There is a slight chance of a shower this afternoon and this evening. We've dropped down to 68 overnight tonight. And tomorrow, partly sunny, scattered showers and thunderstorms also with a high temperature near 80. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
And good morning again, and welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. Welcome back. If you've been on the video live stream, you've heard a lot of, I think, fun and interesting information. We found out that Autumn Zick and I, we share the same birthday, the same day. What day of the week was it?
I have no idea.
Okay. Let's look that up. We can look that up later to see if we're twinsies that way as well. But Autumn is the president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. And the mission statement that I pulled off your website says the Therapeutic Equestrian Center, also known as TEC, engages the power of horses to challenge people with disabilities to build stronger bodies, minds, and spirits. How do you know you're doing that?
Well, I guess looking back and we have goals for each of our participants. Not everybody rides at TEC. Some people enjoy working with the horse from the ground. Others enjoy doing the grooming and whatnot. So yes, so through goals and objectives, we can tell. You see a lot with the reactions on their faces as far as the smiles you get. You see the progress being made in terms of, for instance, someone with cerebral palsy being able to use both sides of their body better. We can work on fine motor skills and things like that. So got one little young man who was at the golf outing. He's had to work real hard on that right hand because it doesn't want to work as well as his left. And riding a horse is a lot more fun way to exercise and steering than having to do it in a therapy room. Yeah. So lots of good things happen that way. We have parents that tell us after their daughter has come to ride that she came that day pretty angry. She went home happy and feeling better. These days, I don't think it's easy for a lot of kids, you know, and with social media and everything is out there about you in 2 seconds flat and whatnot, it can be kind of cruel and hard. And so it's a positive atmosphere. That's one thing at Tech. Our volunteers feel the same way. Come to Tech, forget all the things that are happening out there in the world. Let's all work together to make a positive difference. And then it's funny how that comes around to helping you as well. So
I know you're the president there, but you made a very good point, a very specific point that it's a joint effort.
Yes, it is.
How you want to talk about the team that you have?
Yes, we've got a very small but dedicated board, and it's a hands-on working board. We couldn't do it without an awful lot of volunteers. They worked last year over 9,000 volunteer hours.
Wow.
We have a small dedicated part-time staff, and everyone's there for the same purpose, and that's to make a difference for people in our community, keep our horses safe. They are our true partners in what we do, and obviously without them, we wouldn't be here. So these hot days and whatnot, or when it's a cold blowing snowstorm, they still need care, and so it does. It really takes a team effort, a variety of different skills to do what we do.
We're talking with Autumn Zick, again, president of Tech. That's the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. Let's make this part of our Moody on the Market update. It's brought to you this hour by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And when you're not taking an automobile, why not take a horse?
There you go.
Do you ever think about, how this used to be a main mode of transportation for folks, and nowadays it's not.
No. Well, it's interesting you say we've got our Camp Tech coming up here the last week of this month, and our theme is going to be partnering with horses through history. And if you think back, we wouldn't be here today if we hadn't had those wagons going westward. And
Right.
who brought those wagons westward?
Horses.
You look at your big cities, the mode of transportation was a carriage, and you'd see carriages lined up in a traffic jam in some of the old pictures of towns. You go back to the cavalry and George Washington and his horse, and going into war, your horse went with you. There's stories of horses in World War II, and we'll be kind of using that as kind of our theme for camp this year. But you're right. I mean, if you think back with the Native Americans and how did they hunt buffalo on horseback? Yes. So where our history is because of horses.
Strongly footed there. And about the camp and the programs that you do on a daily basis, what do you need from the community? How are you funded? And what do people need to think about when they're thinking about, there are good causes out there?
Yeah, thank you. We are a 501c3, so our donations are tax deductible. We always ask that people come visit us, come out to Tech and see what we do. You can talk about it here on the radio, of which we're very grateful, but seeing it firsthand is like so many things. Yes. You catch those.
That's the real experience.
Special moments. So we welcome people to come visit. We welcome people to share what we do. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, as well as our website, techfarm.org. We need volunteers to help. We've got volunteers of all ages. You need to be at least 14 years of age. We've got a large group of retirees that help. You don't necessarily have to have horse experience. It's just a willingness to learn. those people, sometimes in lessons for a class of 4, which is as large as any of our group classes are, we might need 12 volunteers.
Wow.
There'd be a person leading the horse, and they do need to have horse experience. And we might have a sidewalker, a person on either side, being able to offer assistance that way. So it is a fairly labor intensive for some. And then as riders progress, they need less assistance and whatnot. And we do that, our training, we have several volunteer training sessions over the course of the year. We do go year round. So we do have people that go to Florida in the winter and come back and are here in the summer, college students that, in and out, that kind of thing. So we work with people's schedules. We have a need for people to help with chores. It's a great opportunity to get a little exercise, and chores are done twice a day. Stalls are cleaned in the morning, and we can teach you how to pitch the manure and clean the stalls. It's a great time for people to talk. There's a lot of things that get shared, and it's a great networking, getting to meet people of all different ages, all different backgrounds that come together.
I love that. I love that. So where can people go to get more information or to sign up or contact you if they want to volunteer or donate?
Information is available on their website, techfarm.org.
Techfarm.org. That's TEC.
FARM.org.
Okay. All right. We'll be right back. That's our Moody on the Market update this hour. It's brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owner's insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. Back with more, and we'll close out this interview in just a moment.
Insurance Management Service, your local auto.
What's the most misunderstood thing about horses, other than the carrot-fingered nightmare that I have?
People think if you get on them and ride them that the horse does all the work and you don't.
Oh.
And that's not true.
Why not?
A horse is only going to work as hard as he's got to.
Okay.
And they are looking to you for direction. Horses are used to being in a herd, and they're animals that are preyed upon. So out in the wild, a mountain lion coming along, they are always vigilant, watching.
Okay.
And so you can't just sit on a horse. You have to participate, which can work well. People with autism.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. So physical disabilities can improve, but you have to do something. The horse isn't going to just do it without direction.
Have you ever been thrown from a horse?
Yes.
What happened?
Not very often.
Yeah.
I did some eventing once upon a time, which is
Eventing. What is eventing?
3 different events, one of which is stadium jumping in an arena over jumps. Another is cross country, which is out and about over more natural type obstacles, logs and junk. And then there's the dressage aspect, which is in the arena, and kind of like
Dressage is fancy. That's where you can move the horse sideways, parallel park and stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And again, wouldn't happen without doing the right cues, right? So the horse understands.
Yeah.
And I misjudged a jump, and I went up in the jumping position, and I forget what happened, but I fell down. The horse, luckily, he jumped over me.
Ooh.
And I ended up with a black eye. But
wow,
I've had, knock on wood, very few, and usually if done correctly, it's we like a tech. We're standards we follow with our national organization very carefully to keep people as safe as possible.
Okay. And we started to ask you what you do when you're not around the horses. You said rest. Most of the time. Anything else? Any other fun hobbies? What else have you done?
My husband and I, we are our younger daughter lives out in Portland with her husband and a toddler. So we've gone out to visit them.
Nice.
We like to take a trip or two over to Europe and whatnot.
Is she into horses at all? Or
both of our daughters grew up riding.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah, and showing.
I love that your father was a veterinarian first and then became a dentist.
Yes.
Did he have lots of dentist jokes about how, I've seen better teeth on a horse, that kind of thing?
No, but I did. In high school, I got a chance to go with him to Michigan State University, and he did a root canal on a very expensive quarter horse mare.
Wow.
That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, he always said with being a dentist, he could medicate someone and see them in the morning. But back when he was a veterinarian, he did large and small animal both, and he was constantly, you're on 24/7.
I bet.
And he just decided that was no way he wanted to raise his family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One second, we'll be right back. It's the WSJM Morning Show.
Serving our community. The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
7:58, it's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg, and my guest this hour has been Autumn Zick, president of the Therapeutic Equestrian Center. And how'd the hour feel? Was this all right?
It was great.
We do
Sure
okay?
appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very much.
Again, how can people get more information on donating or volunteering their time, or if they want to find out if the program is right for their child
Their child or an adult.
or an adult?
We work with a lot of adults as well. We also have a program for veterans
Okay.
and family members and their families.
And they can follow you on Facebook. They can go directly to your website. That website address once again is
techfarm.org, TECFARM.org.
okay. All right. Well, we thank you for everything that you do here in Southwest Michigan, and
Thank you for having me.
yeah, absolutely. The learning, the stronger bodies, the stronger minds, the stronger spirits that you're cultivating here through your equestrian center. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, it's 7:59. We've got our ABC World and National News coming up in just a moment. We'll also have the latest from our WSJM newsroom. Again, this morning's forecast, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. We are headed toward a high of 85 degrees inland today, probably 81 by the lake. Southwest winds 5 miles per hour. Tonight's forecast, mostly cloudy. 30% chance of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two rolling through, a low around 68. And then tomorrow's forecast, partly cloudy, a chance of showers and some storms, high around 82 degrees. It's the WSJM Morning Show. Like I said, we've got news coming up, sports as well from Dave Wolf. It's 8 o'clock.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. The stories continue coming in from Central